Once upon a time, in a beautiful village full of bright colors and happy people, there lived a family called the Qualis family. This family had two children, Mori Faye and Kelani. Mori Faye was a very beautiful little girl, and Kelani was a handsome little boy. They were twins, and everyone in the village loved them very much. Mori Faye and Kelani were like the sunshine in the village. People often said, "Look at those two. They are gifts from the heavens." The twins were always respectful and kind. They helped their parents with small chores and played nicely with other children. Their parents loved them deeply and always made sure they had everything they needed. Mama and Papa Kwali worked hard so that Morife and Kilani never had to worry about anything. They wanted their children to grow up happy and safe. One sunny day, Mama Kwali said, "Morife, Kilani, come help me pick vegetables from the garden." The twins ran over smiling. They loved helping their mama in the garden. Papa Kwali would come home from the fields and say, "My little helpers, thank you for taking care of mama and the garden." The Kwali family was always together, laughing and sharing stories. At night, they would sit around the fire, and Papa Kwali would tell stories about brave warriors and wise elders. Mori, Faye, and Kelani loved these stories. They would listen with wide eyes and imagine the adventures. One evening, as the sun was setting, Papa Kwali said, "My dear children, always remember to be kind and help others. This village is our home, and we must take care of each other." Morife and Kelani nodded, understanding their papa's wise words. Life in the Kwali family was full of joy and love. The village loved the twins, and the twins loved their village. Every day was a new adventure, and every night was filled with dreams of wonderful tales. The Kwali family was happy, and their happiness spread to everyone around them. But little did they know, their lives were about to change. A great challenge was coming, and the twins would need all their strength and love to face it. For now, they were happy, playing and laughing under the warm sun in their beautiful village. When Morife and Kelani turned 12, something very sad happened. One day, their parents, Mama and Papa Kwali, became very sick. The villagers tried to help, but Mama and Papa Kwali could not get better. They eventually passed away, leaving Morife and Kelani all alone. The twins were heartbroken. They missed their parents so much and cried every night. The village elders decided that Morife and Kelani should go live with their uncle, Chief Abasi, in a faraway town. Chief Abasi was Papa Kwali's older brother, and he promised to take care of the twins. The journey to Chief Abasi's town was long and filled with tears. Morife and Kelani were scared and sad, but they held each other's hands tightly. When they arrived, Chief Abasi welcomed them with open arms. "Welcome, my dear children," he said, hugging them warmly. "This is your new home." Chief Abasi's house was big and beautiful, with colorful walls and a lovely garden. His wife, Auntie Efua, was kind and gentle. She hugged Morife and Kelani and said, "You are safe here. We will take care of you." The twins were given a cozy room with soft beds and warm blankets. They were still sad about their parents, but Chief Abasi and Auntie Efua did everything they could to make them feel at home. They made sure Morife and Kelani had nice clothes, delicious food, and lots of love. Chief Abasi owned a big fabric store in the market. He would take Morife and Kelani to the store, and they loved it there. The people in the town admired the twins and often said, "These children are so special. They bring joy wherever they go." Chief Abasi's fabric store was the biggest in the market. It had every color and pattern you could imagine. Morife and Kelani loved spending time there, touching the soft fabrics and helping their uncle. They would greet customers with their sweet smiles, and everyone loved them. "Hello, welcome to our store," Morife would say with a cheerful voice. "Feel free to look around," Kelani would add, always polite and friendly. Soon, word spread through the town about the special twins at Chief Abbasi's store. People believed that doing good for the twins would bring good luck and blessings. Customers started flocking to the store, eager to buy fabrics and meet Morife and Kelani. One day, a woman came to the store and said, "I heard that these twins bring good fortune. I must buy some fabric from here." She picked out the most beautiful cloth, and when she wore it, she felt happier than ever. Another day, a man came in and said, "Since I bought fabric here, my business has been booming. These twins really are a blessing." He bought even more fabric, thanking Morife and Kelani for their presence. Chief Abbasi watched as his store became busier and busier. Customers filled the shop every day, and his fabric sold like never before. He was very happy and grateful for the twins. "Thank you, Morife and Kelani," he said one evening as they closed the store. "You two have brought so much joy and prosperity to us." The twins felt proud and happy. They enjoyed helping their uncle and seeing the smiles on the customers' faces. They would carefully arrange the fabrics, making the store look beautiful and welcoming. One sunny morning, as they opened the store, Auntie Efua said, "Look at all these happy customers. You two really are special." Morife and Kelani smiled, feeling the love and appreciation from their family and the town. Life was good, and Chief Abbasi's business continued to grow. The store became the most popular in the market, and everyone talked about the wonderful twins who brought good luck. Chief Abbasi's heart was full of joy and gratitude. He knew that as long as Morife and Kelani were with him, everything would be all right. The days were filled with laughter, love, and success. Morife and Kelani felt at home and were happy to be with their uncle and aunt. The people, the market, and their new life were bright and full of promise. But as life often goes, good times can change, and new challenges were on the horizon. For now, though, the twins and their family enjoyed the prosperous times, cherishing every moment of happiness and togetherness. One day, everything changed. Chief Abbasi's wife, Auntie Efua, fell very ill. She couldn't get out of bed and needed constant care. Morife and Kelani tried to help, bringing her water and sitting by her side. They loved Auntie Efua very much and wanted her to get better. Chief Abbasi did everything he could to help his wife. He brought in healers from far and wide, but nothing seemed to work. Auntie Efua's illness grew worse, and one sad morning, she passed away. The whole household was heartbroken. The people in the town mourned her loss, and the market was closed for a day to honor her memory. Morife and Kelani cried a lot. They missed Auntie Efua's gentle hugs and kind words. Chief Abbasi was very sad too, but he tried to stay strong for the twins. "We will get through this together," he told them, holding their hands. Not long after, another misfortune struck. Chief Abbasi's son, Ajao, was climbing a tree when he slipped and fell. He broke both his legs and was in great pain. Chief Abbasi rushed him to a healer, who said that Ajao would need a lot of time and care to recover. The treatment was very expensive. Chief Abbasi had to spend a lot of money to buy medicines and pay the healer. Slowly, his fabric store began to look empty. The beautiful fabrics that once filled the shelves were gone, sold to pay for Ajao's care. As the days went by, fewer and fewer customers came to the store. People in the town started to whisper, "Maybe the twins are bringing bad luck." Some believed that since Morife and Kelani arrived, bad things had been happening to Chief Abbasi's family. One afternoon, a customer came in and said, "Chief Abasi, I'm sorry, but I can't buy fabric from your store anymore. Every time I wear something from here, something bad happens to me." Another customer nodded and said, "Yes, it's true. I've been feeling ill since I bought fabric last time. Maybe it's the twins. Maybe they bring bad luck." Chief Abazi was troubled by these words, but he didn't believe in such superstitions. "These are just unfortunate coincidences," he told himself. But the whispers in the town grew louder, and more people began to avoid his store. The once bustling shop became quiet and empty. Chief Abasi felt the weight of his troubles and didn't know what to do. Mori, Faye, and Kelani noticed the change and felt very sad. They wanted to help, but they didn't know how. One evening, as they sat in the dimly lit store, Chief Abasi said, "Don't worry, my children. We will get through this. We have each other, and that's what matters most." But deep down, he was worried. His wife was gone, his son was hurt, and his business was failing. Life had taken a difficult turn, and the days ahead seemed uncertain. The twins held on to their uncle's words and hoped that brighter days would come again. They knew they had to stay strong and face whatever challenges came their way. As the days turned into weeks, Chief Abasi's fabric store continued to suffer. The shelves that were once full of colorful fabrics were now nearly empty. Customers stopped coming, and whispers of bad luck filled the town. Chief Abasi's heart was heavy with worry and sadness. One evening, Chief Abasi sat down with Mori, Faye, and Kelani. "My dear children," he said softly, "I love you both very much, but things are not going well. People believe that you bring bad luck. I don't believe it, but I need to do something to save the store and our family." Mori, Faye, and Kelani listened with tears in their eyes. They loved their uncle and wanted to help. Chief Abasi continued, "I think it's best if you go stay with my sister, your Auntie Adana, back in the village for a while. Maybe then things will get better here." The twins nodded sadly. They didn't want to leave, but they understood. The next morning, Chief Abasi packed their bag and took them to the village. Auntie Adana welcomed them warmly, giving them hugs and kind words. "You are safe here," she said. "We will take care of you." Shaki Cho Kakese. As soon as the twins left, things began to improve for Chief Abasi. Customers started coming back to the store. They bought fabrics and business slowly began to pick up again. The whispers of bad luck faded and the store was filled with life once more. Chief Abasi was relieved, but he missed Mori, Faye, and Kelani terribly. After a few months, when his business was stable again, he decided to bring the twins back. "Come home, my children," he said. "I miss you very much." Mori, Faye, and Kelani were happy to return. They missed their uncle and the town. But as soon as they came back, misfortune struck again. Customers who bought fabrics fell ill or faced bad luck. The whisper started once more, and people avoided the store. Chief Abasi was at his wits' end. He loved the twins dearly, but he couldn't ignore what was happening. His business was suffering again, and he couldn't bear to see the store empty and lifeless. One evening, as he sat alone in the quiet store, Chief Abasi made a difficult decision. He went to his sister, Auntie Adana, and told her everything. "I don't believe the twins are bad luck," he said, "but I don't know what else to do. Can you take care of them permanently?" Auntie Adana looked sad but understanding. "I love Mori, Faye, and Kelani," she said, "but I have noticed the same thing. When they are here, things go wrong. When they leave, everything gets better. It breaks my heart, but I think you're right." Chief Abasi and Auntie Adana came up with a plan. One night, They gave Morife and Kelani a sleeping pill to make them sleep deeply. Then, carefully and quietly, Chief Abasi carried the twins to his car. In the middle of a quiet dark night, Chief Abasi drove the twins, Morife and Kelani, to an orphanage far from the town. The journey was silent and tears rolled down Chief Abasi's cheeks. He loved the twins dearly, but he believed this was the only way to save his business and their future. When they arrived at the orphanage, Chief Abasi gently carried the sleeping twins to a small shade at the gate. He placed a note with their names and a brief explanation. He whispered, "I'm sorry, my dear children. I hope you find happiness here." Then, with a heavy heart, he drove away. The next morning, Morife and Kelani woke up to the sound of birds chirping. They were lying on soft blankets in front of a big building. Confused and scared, they looked around. Where were they? Where was Uncle Abasi? A kind woman from the orphanage named Mama Fola saw them and hurried over. "Oh my goodness, children, are you all right?" she asked gently. Morife and Kelani nodded, though they felt very sad and lost. Mama Fola read the note Chief Abasi left and understood. "Come inside, my dears. You are safe here," she said, taking their hands and leading them into the orphanage. Inside the orphanage was warm and welcoming. Other children, some playing and some reading, looked up curiously. "Hello," a little boy greeted. "Are you new here?" Morife and Kelani nodded, still feeling unsure. But the other children quickly surrounded them with smiles and friendly words. "Come play with us," a girl said, handing Morife a toy. Mama Fola showed them to their room, which had 2 cozy beds and a window that let in lots of sunshine. "This is your new home," she said kindly. "We take care of each other here." Though the twins were still sad about leaving their uncle, they felt a little better with Mama Fola's kindness and the warmth of the other children. They joined in games, helped with chores, and listened to stories at night. As days turned into weeks, Morife and Kelani started to adjust to their new life. They made friends and found some joy in the little things, but deep down, they still missed their parents and Uncle Abasi. Sometimes they would sit by the window and wonder if they would ever see their family again. Mama Fola noticed their sadness and tried to comfort them. "I know it's hard," she said one evening as she tucked them into bed. "But you are loved here. We are your family now." The twins nodded, feeling the warmth of her words. They knew they had to stay strong and make the best of their new home. The orphanage was different from what they were used to, but it was filled with love and care. However, as time passed, small misfortunes began to happen. Some children got sick and toys broke unexpectedly. The staff started to notice, and whispers of bad luck began to spread. Morife and Kelani couldn't understand why these things were happening, but they tried their best to stay hopeful. In the midst of these challenges, the twins held on to each other and the kindness of Mama Fola. They didn't know what the future held, but they knew they had to keep going, one day at a time. As time went by, strange things started happening at the orphanage. It seemed like bad luck had followed Morife and Kelani to their new home. One by one, the other children began to get sick with mysterious illnesses. They would have fevers, coughs, and aches that made them stay in bed for days. Or the staff at the orphanage, who had welcomed the twins with open arms, began to whisper among themselves. "Since the twins arrived, things have been going wrong," one staff member said. Mama Fola tried to stay positive. "These are just coincidences," she said. But even she was starting to worry. One morning, Morife and Kelani were helping in the kitchen. It was their turn to wash the dishes. As they carefully washed and dried each glass cup, Kelani accidentally knocked over the stack. Crash! Every single glass cup shattered on the floor. The noise echoed through the orphanage and everyone came running to see what had happened. The young female staff in charge was very angry. "Look at this mess," she shouted. "All the glass cups are broken. How could you be so careless?" Mori, Faye, and Kelani felt terrible. "We're sorry," they said, tears welling up in their eyes. But the staff member was too upset to listen. She picked up a cane and gave them a few hard flogs. The next day, the staff member's hand swelled up painfully. She couldn't move it and had to go see a healer. This was the last straw for many at the orphanage. The head staff called a meeting. "Since the twins arrived, we've had nothing but bad luck," she said. "Children are getting sick and now this. We can't keep them here." The other staff members agreed. "We need to do something before things get worse," one said. Mama Fola, who had grown very fond of Mori, Faye, and Kelani, felt torn. She knew the twins were good children and didn't want to believe they were the cause of the trouble. But the pressure from the other staff was too much. Finally, with a heavy heart, she agreed that something had to be done. The decision was made to chase the twins away. The next morning, while the other children were playing, a staff member called Mori, Faye, and Kelani. "Pack your things," she said. "You can't stay here anymore. We've had too much bad luck since you arrived." Mori, Faye, and Kelani were heartbroken. They packed their few belongings and walked to the big tree in the yard, tears streaming down their faces. They didn't know where they would go or what they would do. They sat crying under the tree. A couple arrived at the orphanage. Just as Mori, Faye, and Kelani were about to leave the orphanage with heavy hearts, something unexpected happened. A couple, Mr. and Mrs. Jacob, arrived at the orphanage. They had been married for a long time, but had no children of their own. They had always dreamed of adopting and giving a loving home to children who needed it. As soon as Mr. and Mrs. Jacob walked into the orphanage, their eyes fell upon Mori, Faye, and Kelani sitting under the big tree, looking sad and lost. There was something special about the twins that drew the couple to them instantly. Mrs. Jacob whispered to her husband, "Look at those beautiful children. I've always wanted twins." Mr. Jacob nodded, feeling the same connection. They walked over to the twins and knelt down to their level. "Hello, my dear children," Mrs. Jacob said gently. "What are your names?" Mori Faye wiped her tears and replied, "I'm Mori Faye, and this is my brother Kelani." Seeing their sadness, Mrs. Jacob's heart melted. "Why are you sitting here all alone?" she asked softly. But before the twins could answer, the head staff of the orphanage approached Mr. and Mrs. Jacob. "Welcome," she said warmly. "These twins are very special. They are just sad because they missed their parents." Mr. and Mrs. Jacob felt a deep compassion for the twins. They knew they wanted to give them a loving home. "We would like to adopt them," Mr. Jacob said decisively. "We've been looking for children to love and care for, and we believe Mori, Faye, and Kelani are meant to be with us." The head staff, relieved that the twins might have a new home, quickly started the adoption process. She didn't mention the rumors of bad luck because she didn't want to ruin this chance for the twins to find a family. As the paperwork was being completed, Mama Fola came to say goodbye. She hugged Mori, Faye, and Kelani tightly. "You are going to a good home," she said with a kind smile. "Be happy and know that you are loved." Mr. and Mrs. Jacob took Mori, Faye, and Kelani by the hand and led them to their car. The twins felt a mix of emotions, sadness for leaving the orphanage and their friends, but also hope for a new beginning with a family that already seemed to love them. On the drive to their new home, Mrs. Jacob turned to the twins and said, "We are so happy to have you with us. We will take care of you and make sure you are happy. Morife and Kelani looked at each other and then at their new parents. They saw the kindness and love in Mr. and Mrs. Jacob's eyes and felt a spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, this could be the new start they needed. As they arrived at their new home, the twins were amazed by the beautiful house and the warm, welcoming atmosphere. Mr. Jacob carried their bags inside, while Mrs. Jacob showed them their new room. It was cozy and filled with toys and books.
This is your new home, Mrs. Jacob said. We
will be here for you always. For the first time in a long while, Morife and Kelani felt a sense of belonging. They smiled at each other, feeling a bit of the heavy weight in their hearts lift. They hoped that with Mr. and Mrs. Jacob, their lives would finally be filled with happiness and love. But will they really find real happiness and love here? Will something bad befall Mr. and Mrs. Jacob as they took home Kelani and Morife? And do you think the twins are actually bad luck? Subscribe to find out the answer to each of these questions in part 2. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell for the next part. Goodbye.